right. All right. Exactly. Get some writing. Get some words. The words down. Not is N-O-T, not N-O-Y. You're so vain. I'm gonna charge my watch. I'm gonna charge my watch. Okay. Let's do this, people. Let us do this. Where am I over here? Oh, wait till some people are in. itch. I got an itch. Ugh. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. We're getting there. We're almost to the next page, which means a chapter already done. Then on my other thing that I'm writing, I can finish that chapter and get a couple of chapters done. Why are you yelling? I'm not yelling. Next page, Nick Zinn, you little bastard. What's up, Nick? What's up? I'm not changing to the noon thing until January. You really are. Hope everything is well up there. 59 degrees here today. I think it's supposed to be 63 is the high. All caught up on Oak Island. So basically, you figured out they found nothing. Literally nothing, because I watched the episode last night, and we found a nail, and we found another piece of metal. We keep poking holes to get to the whatever they call the solution channel. Yeah, fallen tree in the swamp, exactly. We keep poking holes into the solution channel. We're so close to finding coins. But, there are no coins. Well, then Dr. Spooner says, well, yeah, there's tons of gold and silver down there. Every time I do a water test, tons of it. We don't know where it is. Oh, it's sunk into the center of the earth now. So we'll just keep looking. We'll just keep making money off of this. Even though that treasure is probably long, long gone. I don't know about you, Nick, but if I was burying treasure like that back in the day, I wouldn't just go, yeah, I'll just leave it, and then eventually I'll die, and then it'll be forgotten. No, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to go spend some of this gold and stuff. That stuff's probably been, it was probably taken out of there 200 years ago. But it makes for a good show. I also think, watching last night's episode, that Katya, Gary's daughter, Peter Fernetti, is really big on her. You can tell the way he looks at her. And I'm sure she's just like, either, no, I'm into chicks, or I'm not into guys who are effeminate like a chick. All the treasure used for the NHL. You know what? That could be the thing. I watched, I don't know what I watched. I watched a show the other night. And the lady was talking about, it's one of these, Danny Trejo or whatever, any of those. The lady was talking about that she won, her and her husband won $2 million. They're in Canada. $2 million. And so they took part of it and they bought a new house. They sold their house, they bought a bigger house. But one of the things she said, which I thought was funny, she said, yeah, so I bought a hockey mom van. And I thought, you know what? That is Canadian, right? We say soccer mom van in the United States. She said hockey mom van. And then they showed the kids putting all their hockey equipment into the back of the minivan. I'm thinking, that does make so much sense. So much sense. Because they're not playing soccer up there in the frozen tundra of Canada. They're playing hockey. Ooh, excuse me. I hope you're doing well, Nick. I'm not sure how much work you get this time of year, but I hope it's enough. Hope you're going to have a good holiday season. Hockey mom has it going on. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know why. I just thought that was... Never saw that one coming. That's the third page. All right. Work is meh. Yeah, that's not good. Hopefully it picks up after the new year. And some exciting things. Get to photograph midgets or something. I guess I don't like to be called midgets. Little people. think I'm caught up on everything now. Nothing exciting here. No, nothing exciting here either. We're gearing up for, I'm sure it's cold. It's cold here. I just said 59 degrees. We're gearing up for Christmas now because Tom and Jess are leaving Christmas Eve to go to their relatives. Which, I get it. It's fine. It screws us up, though, because her mom, then, we need to get her up and moving to go to my mom's for Christmas Eve. That's like my big holidays. Is Christmas Eve, the Italian feast of the seven fishes thing. So I'm like, hopefully we can get her mom motivated and moving, so we can get there. Snow around, I'm sure you it's very, everywhere I look I see people talking about how much snow they got upstate New York and whatnot. You up in Canada, all over the place, snow. No snow here though. My wife did get her lemon tree yesterday, though. Her friend got it for her for Christmas, so the lemon tree arrived. You can never have enough fishes. 7 fishes, 100 fish, doesn't matter. Fishes are good. The lemon tree, it's about 3 feet tall. Best Christmas ever. But she's gonna wait because they say if it's under 50 degrees. It could die, so you have to cover it in all kinds of stuff. So my Italian aunt did it one year. It's been a Rosamilia tradition for I don't know 100 years. Except we've really changed it. My Mima, my dad's mother, she would you would have to do here are the 7 fishes. We're gonna make an antipasto. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make some ziti. We're gonna make, and it was like this huge spread. And there was like 30 of us that would go. That was like our big holiday. Thanksgiving was never a big deal. Christmas Day, not really a big deal. But Christmas Eve, that was the Rosamilia holiday. And so now, my mom and my dad, obviously before he passed, they would do it. My dad would make the antipasto. And my mom would make all the fishes. But now it's just like the last couple years, it's like, and it's gotten progressively, I'm going to say it's gotten progressively worse. My mom would be like, here, so I made some shrimp. So here's some shrimp, and here's some cocktail sauce for the shrimp. And then I bought a couple of boxes of stuffed clams and threw those in the oven. And then I bought a couple of, I bought a bag of scallops and I threw that in the oven. And it's just like everything she's buying now is frozen. Yeah, here's a Red Lobster gift card. Exactly. So it's like we go and it's like, okay, these are, in fact, what's funny is she's like, hey, I'm buying those Red Lobster rolls. What do you call them? Bread. And I'm like, yeah, those are great. Because otherwise she just says, here's a Hawaiian rolls, and she just throws a bag on the table. So it should be good, whatever. Yeah, the cheddar biscuits, those are amazing. That's literally the only way I go to Red Lobster. Somebody bought me at some point, somebody had bought me several people had bought me 4 or 5 Red Lobster gift cards. I don't even know why. And there was a Red Lobster up here before it closed. But I would only go when it was the all you can eat. But the one up here was so slow. So I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to have this, then this. Can you get me this after that? And they're like, well, you got to wait. So I would they put it on the table and I'd be like, don't go anywhere. And I would eat and I'm like, okay, now put me in for the whatever one. And then they would take their sweet time and you would sit there for 20 minutes until you got a little thing of 4 more shrimp. And I'd be like, this is not, you guys are trying to wait me out. I'll sit here all day. I got nothing else to do. I'm gonna stay until you close or until you run out of shrimp. They always try to get you with the, well, would you like the shrimp pasta? No, I don't want pasta because that fills me up. Nice try. No, water. I don't want sweet tea. I don't want Coke products. Water. That's it. I don't know why I'm yelling today. This Saturday is my wife's office Christmas party. I think we're going to an Italian place again, which is nice. There's going to be about, I don't know, 8 of us. She only has 2 people working for her. So it's those 2 people and their husbands and their kids. Like 3 kids total. So there'll be 9 of us, and I think maybe 12 of us. Which will be good. Which will be delicious. Not much of a party. Oh, but we can party hardy. You know what I'm saying? We can party like an, what is it, Andrew WK video. That guy still around? Yeah, there's like 12 of us, I think. I mean, her office is literally her and 2 people. Here I thought it'd be like 100 people. No. Even like at my mom's for New Year's Eve, it'll be me, Shelly, and her mom. And then my son, but not his fiance because nobody likes her. And then my daughter and her boyfriend. And we kind of like him. And then my brother, who I hardly ever talk to or see because I really don't like him. Him and his new girlfriend, who is from Latvia. Yep, you heard me right. Latvia. So she'll be there. She barely speaks English. Apparently she has 5 kids that are all older. She's like in her 50s. That are all the kids are older. Living in Latvia with her ex. Her ex has got like the youngest, I think, is like 8 or something like that. Is that a real? Yeah, apparently it's a real country. So my thing was, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to learn everything I can about Latvia. And then when we're sitting there, I'm like, oh, you're from Latvia, the 8th largest country in Europe or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Or is this like Perfect Strangers kind of thing? I don't know. I haven't heard. My mother said she has that. She definitely has an accent, a very, very thick, I guess, Latvian accent. I don't know. I don't know if my mother's ever met anybody from Latvia. So it should be interesting. Of course, my mom's like, oh, she's really nice. I'm like, yeah, because she just started dating my brother. Once he gets his hooks in her, then she's going to become an alcoholic and a pothead like him. I would imagine she also has money because he only dates women that have really good jobs and or money. No idea why she's here, but I'm going to find out. Then I'm going to pull her off to the side. I'm going to say, just go. Just leave. Don't talk to him anymore. He's an awful, awful person. So yeah, really odd. I don't know where anybody else is, Nick. It's just me and you. Me and you. You and I. I was late last week, so what happened with the part-time job thing? Okay, so no part-time job. The guy never called. Number 1. Number 2, I explained to my wife, hey, you know, people can make a lot of money on this YouTube thing. I just need to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watched. And then I can monetize the channel. But that means I got to spend money I got to use my credit card, which I was using for Amazon ads, and they weren't working. And my sales have really, really dropped off, like really bad, which happens this time of year. I get a nice uptick in paperback sales, but the ebooks are just really bad. So I said, here's my plan. I showed her a video of another author and how much they get paid once you get monetized. Right? Like I'm not gonna show you the person who's like, oh, I do, political things or something that has nothing to do with me, and they're making billions of dollars. So I showed her a person, and they average like $2,500 a month. And she's like, you know what? I could live with you pulling in $2,500 a month. Like, right? How much am I gonna make on a part-time job? A couple $100 a week, So that will be more, but I'm probably gonna have to spend a couple thousand on advertising for these to get subscribers. So I figured out I'm just gonna work on advertising towards subscribers, which is what I've been doing since November 7th. November 7th, I had 355 subscribers. Now I have 1,015. So I have my subscriber count in, but I'm only at like 890 something hours. So I need to build up the hours being watched. So that's going to be the challenge, but I'm going to continue to advertise and build it for the next several months. I've gotten about 500 hours added just in the last 28 days. So that's my part-time job right now, is building up the YouTube channel. And then hopefully it will succeed, and then hopefully I will make money. There was one writer, some lady, and of course she writes romance books. And in her first full year on YouTube, and she's shown the numbers, so I had to show that to my wife, $631,000 she made on advertising. And I'm like, holy crap. That's a lot of money. My wife's like, I'd be happy with that. I try to have videos of yours go in the background. And you know what? And I appreciate that. I definitely do, because I need the hours. So what I'll do at night, it's like 6 o'clock, my wife's coming home, I'll set up a queue of all of my videos. And so the thing is, you can watch each video 3 times and it counts. But you can't watch them in a row. You can't watch 2 of them in a row. You have to kind of break it up. And so, like, my wife at work, just like she's watching videos all day. So I'm just running videos, but of course most of them I've already probably seen 3 or 4 times. So I'm not worried, but I keep adding videos. And so it's not the shorts. The shorts really don't do anything. It's 5 minutes or over videos is what I need to be watched. In fact, this afternoon I will be doing another video on one of my things, and then on Sunday I'll be doing another writing video. So those are the videos that are getting advertising, and then they are getting a lot of good views, because I'm watching, I'm like, oh, it's not like 100% coming in from the ads. They're basically just a lot of, so like on May 1st I had 204 subscribers, 467 hours. Now I have 879. So I'm doing much better. The problem with YouTube is it's a rolling 365 days. So the other day I was like, wow, I just lost like 15 hours. So then I go and I look and I'm like, oh, because last year at this time, I guess I was trying to build it up, not even realizing how it worked. And so all those hours drop off every time. And I think like this week is like 80 hours from last year that I will lose. So I got to make up those 80 hours and plus continue. So any video you can watch, Nick, I appreciate it. Ugh. I do now. Yes, I do. It said we had 3 people viewing, and now we're back to just you, Nick. Which is just insanely crazy. after I'm done with this, probably not gonna do an hour. Once I am done here, though, I have to run to the post office because somebody won one of my books in a giveaway on Facebook, and then I also have to go to the library, and bring a couple of books back and pick up another book. Yeah, mix up the queue would be be really nice. And again, in the last week, every Sunday and Wednesday I've added a video, and like yesterday I did a review of the new T. Kingfisher book, which I really liked. So all those videos, if you want to throw those in and watch, that would be appreciated. I was a guest on a podcast last night, and my thing on the bottom had my name, and then it said, "Follow me on YouTube." And I'm hoping somebody follows me on YouTube. We talked about it a little bit too. I'm like, oh, Armand's opinion, you gotta follow that. And then one of the other guests, who's a paranormal researcher, she wants to have me on her YouTube channel come January. So, you know what? If it helps. If it helps. Here is the mailman. Are you give me something? Nope, you're going to just give me garbage. Thanks. Chapter done. This is the last Severed Press book. Mammoth. Let's moving right along. Let me go over to here because this, look at that. Look how close I am on that one, Nick. As in the last every year, I'm not going to do any more with Severed Press. They haven't asked me to pitch anything yet. I'm not even sure if they know this is even the last book. My guess is I'm gonna send this to them when it's finished and go, okay, here it is. Here's the last book, and then they're gonna, oh, okay, pitch us some more stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break for a little bit because I'm really not making the money that I used to make with them. Even after 11 books out with them so far, and the quarterlies have just progressively gone down. I was making some really good money, and now I'm making some really crappy money. So it's not worth doing anymore. I don't know if you were around. I guess you weren't around last week when I made the provocative announcement that after what I have kind of set up now, I'm not going to be doing self-publishing anymore. That's right. I'm out. I have, I'm working on the Second book of a trilogy, me and Tom. Tom's just dragging his feet on it. Once a week he's writing a chapter, which is annoying. Once these books are done, then we'll have two trilogies that starting next month, we'll start putting out. So those 6 books will be self-published. Well, 3 of them I will publish, 3 of them Tom will publish. We'll call them self-published. I finished my last chapter for the post-apocalyptic romance book that Amanda Ward and I had been co-writing together. And so I have no idea what we're going to do with that. I'm leaving it all up to her, but we're probably just going to self-publish that. Or she'll self-publish it. Keep track of all that. With a pen name for the two of us. And then I got I have the Dying Days prequel and the Dying Days sequel. Those 2 books will be self-published next year. And that might be it. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. I'm doing a Kickstarter for the Dirty Deeds 10th anniversary of the first book. And then there will be a crime fiction novella, Gut Punch, that will also be released with that. And the Dirty Deeds 12-book box set. And you'll be able to get it through the Kickstarter in January. That's the only way you're going to get it. And then probably by the end of the year, I'm never going to do the 10th anniversary thing. I'm going to just do that as a one-shot. But the novella and the box set will be out at some point towards the end of the year. And then everything else I'm writing coming up is going to be for to find an agent. And then when I find an agent, hopefully then I will continue to write. I'll still do short stories, but I will continue to just work and try to find an agent for anything that I'm writing. So that's it. Because I feel like I've hit the ceiling on self-publishing, and that ceiling keeps dropping. And dropping and dropping and dropping. And it's just not, for all the hours I put in, it's just not worth the payout at this point. That's just me. I mean, your mileage may... No, I haven't even looked at it. I purposely was like, I can't look for agents. I can't do any research until this book or these books are written. There's 3 different books that I've started. One of them is 22,000 words in. Another's 18,000, and the third is like 8,000 in. So I'm not close to finished with any of them. So I've been kind of working on them, going through, starting from chapter 1 and kind of doing a little, kind of a rewrite on one of them now. So the goal will be to finish, this is the one I think is going to be the strongest in my mind. And then that's the one I'm going to start pitching to agents, so I will figure that out. But, agents could take you a year, could take you 18 months, who knows? You could never get an agent. But that's literally what I'm going to be working on. And the YouTube. In the meantime, I will continue to write. I will continue to put out YouTube videos. And we'll see what happens. So definitely a different strategy for 2026, which is one of the videos I will be doing this month. Basically saying what I just said there, but making it into a 10-minute or more conversation that you can put in your queue and watch 3 times, but not in a row. was making my lunch. Good. So you missed the entire thing of what I basically said. What'd you make for lunch? Do you have a publisher editor reach out at one of your fancy cons? Yeah, that was a couple years ago, and then that woman passed away. As long as you were listening. Yeah, that woman passed away. I heard from another author that that she had passed away, maybe 6 months after I'd first talked to her. Salad and burrito. Ooh, what's in the burrito? Hopefully nothing weird. I can't roll a burrito. Like, did you buy a burrito or did you make a burrito? You probably like bought like a bean burrito. I do love Taco Bell's bean burritos. Bean rice guac. Oh, you made it. You know how to fold the burrito? I cannot fold the damn burrito. The beans and the rice would be good. I'm not a guacamole fan. Anytime we go to any Mexican restaurants, I'm like, no guac, no sour cream. I don't care if it's even not even on the menu. It doesn't matter. That Kindle first, all the dirty deeds should give you a bit of street cred. What Kindle first, dirty deed? What? I don't even know what you're talking about. What does that mean? I'm waiting for your answer. Kindle first. What did you do? What did you win with the first year? Oh, Kindle Scout. Yeah, that was so many years ago. That was actually 10 years ago. That's why I'm doing a 10-year anniversary of the book. It's going to have the original cover that Shelley and I created for it. Commercials. Why? Well, you should be subscribed. Which is a reminder for everybody to subscribe or resubscribe here on Twitch, and also to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and watch 400 hours of my videos. I would appreciate it. All right, that chapter done. So this is just a book called Shot in the Dark that that I'm writing for Patreon. And I just finished chapter 8. I think chapter 2 went up this month. Yeah, one chapter a month. So I'm well ahead of where I need to be. And it's a ex-military goes back home story. Next page, Nixon. Next page. So I'm happy with this one so far. Again, I have no idea what I will eventually do with this story, but you're talking, I'm on chapter 2, and I'm sure there'll be 50 chapters like always. So it's going to be 4 years of writing this this book, or 4 years of putting it up there. So I'm not too worried about it now. See where I am in 4 years. Resubscribe. Thank you. Appreciate that, Nicholas. Appreciate that a lot. After Christmas, then after New Year's, then Shelly and I will have to sit down and figure out when MondoCon will be next year. But I'm thinking it'll be the end of July into August, whatever that weekend is. Which should be nice. Mixing it up a little bit this year. I'll have everybody coming in. I'm not sure about all the locals. I know Peter Marsh wants to come this year, which will be nice. You'll come back, hopefully. So as I was asking before the commercials interrupted. Yeah, I don't think that the Kindle Scout thing really matters as much. What there needs a Kindle first thing is, Kindle Scout. It was one of only like 203 books that got a contract, but last year I took it back because they basically the Kindle Scout had disappeared. They hadn't done it in a long time, and so we all just started getting our rights back. So I took my rights back, and they did it real nice and easy. I was the one who created the cover, so I kept the cover. They kept all of the reviews and everything. I basically just switched it from Kindle Press to Rimfire Books, which is my thing. And all 12 books had been written and published. So, but now I was able to do a box set, which is what I'm doing for Kickstarter. And also, I can run my own sales and stuff on it, which is nice. Which is probably what I'm going to do come January. I'll probably do like a 99-cent sale, or maybe even a free one. I don't know. So that'll be that. But yeah, it was great when it came because we were allowed to have 3 or 4 keywords, and with Kindle Press being part of Kindle Press, I got 14. And also they were doing sales on it. I think they got me a BookBub deal one time that they paid for, which was great. They were putting it in, they were just sharing it like crazy. So they really pushed the program, but the program as a whole didn't do all that well. And they wanted the second book, but they wanted to put it out a year later. And I'm like, first book's a cliffhanger. I don't want to wait a year. I'm already starting to get beaten up in reviews because it's a cliffhanger. I want to do like 2 a year, which is kind of what I did. All good. You know what I'm saying? All of it good. 60 degrees. Just hit 60 degrees. Oh, thank God. I did not want to go out in that freezing weather. So there you go. I don't know if there's any cachet with that anymore. I mean, I would hope so. I probably have to do a. Let me write that one down too. Kickstarter video. There's one on the Kickstarter now because it's the pre thing. What happens if you finish all these other books and you don't have a publisher lined up? Lots of shocker sequels. I mean, that is always an option. If I write all these books, right, I get these books and anything else that I come up with. I'm always going to write a multitude of books, but my goal now will be for a big and like big publisher. I don't mean like big 5 publisher. I mean a really good crime fiction publisher. And a lot of them will take books without an agent. So I just don't think I'm going to self-publish anymore. I just think it's just a lot of work and it's a lot of money putting out for nothing. Because I'm not making that money back. I'm hoping with the YouTube money starts rolling in and I can get the rest of my books, the rest of my self-published books, I can do audiobooks for. Because my audiobooks sales aren't great, but they're doing a lot better at this point than my book sales. The last 2 months, audiobooks money doubled what my sales were. So that's not bad at all. So the more audiobooks I have out there, obviously, like Dying Days 9 just came out on audiobook finally after all these years, so hopefully that will help. That'll give me some more money in there, you know what I'm saying? How many do you have? I think there's 50. I think I have 50 audiobooks. So now some of them are from publishers. Severed Press probably put 6 or 7 of my books out. I know Stripper Noir is an audiobook. Some of the, maybe 1 or 2 of the Crystal Lake publishing ones are. I don't know. But I think I have like 50 or 51 right now. I think Dying Days 9 was the 51st audiobook for me. You know, that's 12 Dying Days and 6 of the First Coast Thrillers and, you know, now 9 of the, you know, so Dirty Deeds, 12 Dirty Deeds, whatever. So there's more than enough out there to make me money. They're just not making me money like I thought they would be making me money. If that makes any sense. So it's frustrating. And again, putting out I just put out finally my 6th short story collection, Is This Light Painted? That came out yesterday. So short story collections, I'll sell a handful of them. I do those more for me, so I have all of my short stories for my entire 30 plus year career together. It does, because I know they cost a lot of fun. Yeah, you're talking, each audiobook is like $1,000 to put out. And then you hope at some point that you make that up, and you're doing it like, you know, $3 at a time if you're lucky. So you gotta sell a lot of audiobooks, and not everyone is going to make their money back. So like Dirty Deeds, that series, especially 12 audiobooks, that pays for a lot of stuff. That was really good. It still makes money. It's still easily my number one. I'm just not making enough that I can justify spending more money, because I don't have Down and Dirty, those 6 books. I don't have those as audiobooks. But I got to come up with like $6,000 in order for Jack DeGolia to narrate all 6 of them. I don't want to do one and then wait 6 months for more money, you know, that kind of thing. So I have placed all of my eggs in the YouTube basket at this point. And I think, Mick, to be honest with you, that would be the other thing. If I was making, what if I was making like $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $163,000 million, $631,000 a year? if I was making really good money doing YouTube videos, the incentive for me to write 400,000 words a year and pump out books like crazy, I don't know if it would I don't know if it would be there anymore. You know, I might lose the eye of the tiger. You know, like Rocky did. I would take that money and reinvest. I would do all the audiobooks. I would obviously I would still write, but I would not have to stress, and I would just keep writing books and trying to get an agent or several agents, whatever, and then just see what happens. But in the meantime, I would have a decent money flow coming in from the YouTube stuff. Too bad you can't do one that would pay for the next, and so on until all six are done. And that's the problem with it, because I'll release one. So here's the thing, like Dying Days 9 is all done. All 9 of them, I think 7 of them are done by the same narrator. She finally did the last one, because the lady who did the one before, her attitude was, yeah, now I want to get paid because it's a royalty split. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to pay you because these aren't going to make a ton of money. So it's been out for like maybe a month, and I think I've made like $80 on it. You know, so I mean, $80 is not enough to say, hey, I made $1,000 on this and let me move it. Now, for that it was COVID, I was making like $1,500 a month, $2,000 easily with audiobooks. And I immediately took that and I paid off. I basically paid for all 6 of the First Coast Thriller ones with that money. But then it dries up. What videos have been the biggest here for you? For YouTube, it's been how I write 400,000 words a year. What's the other one I did? The Mondo Method one. Those have all been very good. The ones that I thought would be bigger were the interviews, the Armand Chats With interviews. I did like a dozen of them, and I'm getting like 40 or 50 views on those. And this time of year, like I reached out to like, I don't know, 50 different thriller authors, and nobody was interested in being interviewed. I'm like, why am I killing myself trying to find people? And on Wednesday nights, instead of putting these videos up, I'll just write. I did a coffee in my house video last week, and that got a lot more views than any of the thriller author interview ones did. So all it's the same subjects that you did with Chuck. Yeah. Yeah, kind of an update on some of the Mondo Method ones. It's the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, it basically is, I'm a full-time writer and this is why, is basically the idea behind it. People like to hear that, you know. So I figured Sunday will be more of the nuts and bolts Mondo Method podcast type writing stuff, and then Wednesdays are going to be like last Wednesday was like, hey, here's coffee. I might do a video tonight on like my to be read pile on my nightstand kind of thing, you know what I mean? So I don't know. And then I run ads on the Sunday ones. Maybe you need how to have your own little free library and all the kooks that show up thinking it's a real Bible. That might be a good one. You know what? I'm going to write that one down. LFL. That's a good one. I can walk out there, I can shoot the little free library, and I can talk about all the nutcases that keep showing up at my house. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. I mean, I have like 15, 20 ideas written on these post-it notes now, so that's good. And I just kind of look and I go, I'm going to do this one. See what's what. All right, Nick. Hey, it was fun chatting with you. I don't know where anybody else was today, but I'm glad you were on. Enjoy your burrito. I'm gonna get out of here and go to the library. Whatever get eyes on. Exactly. That's the whole thing. You don't know. Most people on YouTube are like, oh yeah, so I'm doing videos and I'm not getting a ton, and then I just post some video I didn't think was going to be anything, and then all of a sudden it gets 100,000 views, and all of a sudden I get my hours. So it's odd that all the other losers were losing. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know where everybody is. You know what it was you and I, so I don't care about the rest of them. Screw them. I will not be on tomorrow. No. But I will be back here on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there you go. All right, Nick. You have a great, great rest of your day. Stay out of the snow, if at all possible.